BK Game Devs, what's up? We're live.
Yo, what's up? What's up, everyone? Welcome back after another week, but a very interesting week. Last week we were streaming the development of our Game Jam game, which we finished now. So,
Oh
we
yeah.
can give everyone an update.
Yeah, it was we submitted the Game Jam. The Game Jam game. It was Safe Surfing. We streamed some of that at the development. Um, we didn't always have time to work on it, but I think we're proud of ourselves for what we came up with in those 2 weeks. It's definitely a
For
fun game.
sure.
And I'm glad that we all did it.
I agree.
Where should we go for it though?
We should go to the itch.io.
Yeah.
itch.io.
Show off the itch.io, and then
What's
we
it called?
can.
itch.io?
I think that we can play a few of the games there.
Yeah, let's go. Let's see what they got. Oh yeah, this is BK Game Devs. Safe surfing page. Oh yeah, this is our page.
Yeah.
This is
Yes,
our
this is our
page.
itch.io page. I guess we can drop that link in chat. In all honesty,
hell
if anyone wants to go check it out.
Yeah.
Let's chat.
Let me do that.
Let's see.
Man, this jazz. It's wild.
Nice.
It sounds good. It's nice.
You like it? Yeah. It's giving me hype. Let's actually go through it. Let's play a bit of it. I know there's gonna be some sounds. I wonder if I could. Feel free to keep
this is a
talking.
game,
Yeah.
Safe Surfing. We tried our best to make an interesting game where you protect your computer from viruses, and you see different types throughout your session through the game. And we made it as it's kind of like a Galaga style shooter, where you are just killing the enemies as fast as you can as they spawn on screen. If you don't kill them fast enough, it gets more hectic and more chaotic. And we've also added in pickups and power-ups in this game, which vary based on the level. And we have some pretty cool stuff that we did here. We made the art ourselves. We worked with the teammates to get most of the music in this game made. And yeah, we're very proud of it. We definitely think we have a chance at getting a spot as a winner in the Game Jam, but only time will tell, right?
Yeah.
And we will find out. When will we find out?
I think it was
in
2 weeks, right?
The voting ends in like 3-4 days.
Oh.
Yeah, and then we'll find out maybe like next week or something, or like the week after.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll find out by next week, next stream, and week we'll come back to you guys with potentially good news. But either way, this is a good experience.
Oh yeah,
It was awesome.
definitely.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just keep going,
keep
going with it a little bit more till we hit the because this is they come in waves. This is how we made the game.
Yeah. Yo, let's see how far you get. Just hold out for that extra life, because you're only on level 2 so far.
Oh yeah, I think I'm on the last wave of level 1.
Okay. But
for anyone interested in how the rest of the game goes, I just posted in our Twitch chat my playthrough of the game where I went through and beat the boss.
Yeah.
So you can see the whole game, because this game gets kind of hectic. So like, it doesn't seem very bad right now, because all you have are these viruses shooting one projectile at a time. But we added different types of threats, and their their behavior is related to their actual behavior. So here's the worm, for example, which, an actual worm, like a computer worm, it replicates. So if you could see on the screen right now, when you shoot the worm, it replicates. And Alex lost because he's bad at video games.
I am. No, I'm great at video games, but
I know.
This one is difficult.
It definitely is. Yeah.
Fresh. So yeah, we had made a worm enemy that replicates himself on death. We had made a Trojan enemy that hides itself as a pickup, and that was fun in its own way. That's a little thing. We had like these DDoS missiles, that that just come in and they kind of just try to get at the player. But when they detonate, they leave a sort of slow field behind, where if your player's caught up in it, its speed is decreased. And then finally, an adware, right, where it actually draws you in, almost like a black hole. And then of course there's the boss if you can get there. But Chris's playthrough can definitely where is it? Chat?
I posted it on the chat. It
Oh nice, yeah.
it shows the entire thing.
Yeah. I mean we could look at the other ones too. How do you view submission page?
Yeah, then you click on submissions again. Yeah.
You want to
So there
start
were
from the top?
There were 5. Yeah, so there were 5 games that were submitted, including ours.
Oh, this one's a download.
Most of them are downloads. I
Yeah,
think
most
only one other one is not a download.
Only
Could I do it?
Jeffrey's.
Yeah, I mean it shouldn't take that long for me to download.
Nah, it should.
No, these are
Yeah, I
small
assume they're all like relatively small.
Oh, it's a 7-zip file, right? Whoa.
Yes. So if I'm correct, Retro Rebound is like an Arkanoid style game, like a brick breaker.
Yeah, I think that Retro Rebound is a brick break type of game. Deltarune is, I think, a like kind of like a puzzle. I forget what you call it. It's kind of like a I don't know. It says dungeon crawler, but I guess dungeon crawler.
I don't think I could open
I
it.
think it has like separate rooms.
I don't
Oh,
have
no?
7Z on my computer.
Got it.
I mean, let's see. What...
I think that I think
Oh,
they're
I
all
can open
downloads.
this. Yeah, I can open this one.
Okay, got it. Nice.
Zip file. Let's extract.
Yeah, if you have trouble with any of them, some of the teams posted like playthroughs of the games.
Okay, here it is. Appleman. Let's see what this is about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's take a look.
We'll run anyway.
So
Oh, no, we got a
yeah,
virus.
so these guys were influenced by Hollow Knight, and that's very interesting because
Oh, this is
we love
loud.
Hollow Knight.
Hold on. The hell? Oh man. That didn't help.
Wait, go to your volume mixer and just set this program to be lower.
And that is sounds.
Nope, second one.
I never
Nope.
get it right. Appleman. Got it. Just gonna
Yep. There you go.
25 it. Yeah, that's a little better. So we got jump, move left, move right, crouch, punch is J, and K is slide through gaps. Okay.
Arrows.
Cool.
That's nice. Oh, they got a little tutorial level. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome.
Oh,
Oh,
is that wall slide?
And,
Oh.
and they got that wall slide. Hey.
Alright, that's cool. So you can slide or punch to get through that.
Can I, okay, can ledge climb. You know, I think the, the Games for Love, thing I'm volunteering for, right? For channel surfing.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure one of the makers in this one, one of the people who worked on this one is also a programmer.
Got you. Can you wall jump?
Oh, crap.
Yeah, maybe you can like wall jump up there. That's again.
Oh, it is. Okay,
Yeah.
Hollow Knight.
Hollow Knight for sure. Yeah.
Oh, that's...
There.
You have to get it from behind. Draw it out and then get it from behind.
Okay, I don't get damaged when I jump on it.
So apples I get for like lives.
Yeah. Oh!
Or yeah, the application like.
Oh, that was
Oh,
easy.
okay. Yeah.
Oh, that's a cool spring.
Green farm zone.
Oh, that's
Wow,
interesting.
I their attention to like detail with planning the levels out. Like this is
For
good
sure.
level design.
Yeah.
Which is happening. Oh, okay. So some of these actually go somewhere. They don't have a down punch, I guess, but I guess it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I do get the Hollow Knight vibes from it in terms of gameplay.
I get a lot of Hollow Knight vibes, yeah. And Ori a little bit, but this is definitely Hollow Knight.
Get the apples. It's all about the apples. Alright. Oh!
Should see if these guys want to work on Havoc.
Yo, that's yeah. This is D-boost.
Nice. Wait, how many levels are there?
I don't
Do I
know.
actually,
But I
actually get
remember
damaged by these
20.
guys?
Maybe not. Maybe they're just impervious and they attack you a different way. Yeah, I don't know.
I like the level design. It kind of gives you like a new little way of using the moves. I enjoy that.
Yeah, this looks like a lot.
Yeah, it does. For sure.
Oh man.
Emperor Power Hit.
Oh, you wrecked.
The bosses just kind of get wrecked, it seems. Oh.
Wow, this.
Up jump? Oh, your wall jump.
Oh yeah, you're good at this, Alex. I would have died already, 100%.
This is kind of like bullet hell in this event.
Yeah,
Just weighing you down.
Can I move these?
I really like the variety.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, this is nice. This is well made for sure.
For anyone watching, this is a game that was made in 2 weeks. Just like ours, we got a bit of a late start on ours. I don't exactly know when they started.
I think what it was still is they already had some sort of like Appleman prototype going. I think they just continued on with it. 'Cause I remember when they were saying like coming up with the ideas for it, like brainstorming or whatever. Appleman was already somewhat in development.
I didn't realize you were allowed to do that. Are you sure?
No, yeah, I mean game jams do allow such a thing. What?
Oh, do they?
Oh, I just died. Okay, that's fine. I think it's a good place to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to look into it again. See if I go to the Game Jam thing and see if I go to Game Jam chat, and I go way up. I think it was in ideas and pitches. Yeah. See, this was on 25, and we're at.
When did the game jam officially start?
March 26th, I think. No?
Okay, 20. It was on the 29th. So, but before then, there were already sort of ideas, like people talking and stuff like that. And he says, "I recently played Hollow Knight, and on
Oh, they put together.
yeah, this is a brief demo and art pack I would like to use." And so he already had something going. I think that's that's how they were able to sort of get more out of it, like really go on the levels, which was they are really nice levels.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't know that you could do that though.
I think it's on a case by case basis. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah.
Or
makes sense. Yeah.
I think the rules are pretty loose because, yeah. I think it's fine though.
Yeah. Regardless, it was well polished in a week and a half, and Very impressive.
Okay, so let's check out Dark Rune. Is that in? Okay, this is a download. What is a download?
I'll be
Is it?
back in 2 minutes, guys.
No problem. Let's see what this is about. Dark Rune. With extract all. I saw the name a lot, but I don't actually know anything about Dark Rune. Oh,
Yeah,
look at that! They updated their icon too.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it seems like a. They said a
Oh, this
dungeon
is
crawler?
full screen. I don't know if the
Oh,
is the
okay.
stream catching that.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, I gotta open back up.
Dark Rune. Torchlight Games 2021.
Is that that's their name? Press action button to start. What is it though? Which one is
Is
it?
it X?
One of these.
That looks like an X to me, no?
I am clicking X.
Oh, huh.
I like this music.
Press enter, space.
Space shift, control, alt.
Or do you have to like click the button maybe? Okay.
I really do enjoy the music on this game. Press action button to start. Okay, so that's not action button is that's a okay. It's the forward slash.
Interesting.
That threw me off. Okay, action button start. Let's do it. Okay.
Okay. Oh, that's a rune. Okay, got it. Level 1 keys, room and light. Runes and light.
I think they may have to fix the what do you call it? You see here there's a bit of drag. Their collision their physics material, they need to make it like no friction.
No friction.
So that it's pretty yeah. It's kind of like a maze style type of game. Or rogue.
Yeah, and is there an attack button? Like, or do you just dodge your enemy?
About to die.
Okay, alright, yeah. Took Matt. Oh. You have to kill this guy to. Oh no, you just wait. Okay.
I tried using an action button.
Gotcha.
Just chilling down there. Okay. This is kind of like Wake Up in a way, where you have to like collect things.
Yeah, I get that.
And it gives a little dun 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 dun. But it's different.
Okay, got it. Oh yeah, interesting.
Oh, I can't go through this.
Gee. I guess, yeah.
Well, there's actually a bullet hell game jam going on right now.
Oh really?
Which, considering it actually doesn't have to be like full on bullet hell, like but there has to be like a projectile stuff going on, and I think our game would have been just fine.
Got it.
But it actually asks like, is there anyone if you're streaming, please let us know so that we know when you're streaming.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Oh shit.
Hey guys, this game looks fun. You just died.
Yeah, I don't know if there's like supposed to be an attack button, because their action button was this button, the forward slash, but it didn't. The game requires a keyboard and uses the forward slash key to use runes you picked up a monster's nest to banish your foes. I was not able to do that. I don't know. I don't know if I'm supposed to hold it. And I think that this is the last one right here, Jeffy's house, which I think is very much based on like we're supposed to rate this, huh? We'll rate it later.
I couldn't tell if we were supposed to do it as well or if it was for the judges.
Because I did see like 5 or 6 people rated our game already.
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't.
But
see that.
we can't see the rating.
How
So
many
I don't.
times do I
Got
have
it.
to tell you I don't like green beans?
So yeah, I played this one a little. It's got a Pac-Man vibe to it, but
Yeah,
it's
very much
yeah.
Pac-Man. Again,
specific to SML Arcade.
You said Jimmy your bad boy.
yeah, and it uses like again, I don't remember where Jeffy comes from, but he's like supposed to be some sort of YouTube puppet character.
Yeah, I've never heard of it until you had told us about it.
Hmm. Let me just this one, volume mixer. Where is Edge? So it's Jeffy's house is the one that did its thing. Yeah, so it's like Pac-Man. You have to get all the beat things.
Yeah, all little pellets.
Does it just restart the level?
I think you got hit by an enemy and it restarted.
No,
because
no.
you lost a weapon. But when you get all of them, it does take you to a new level.
What? What's that circle thing over there?
That's a power up. So it's really like Pac-Man.
Yeah, after saying what happens after that, like this is definitely Pac-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the level gets bigger the more of the house opens up.
Yeah.
I kind of like how every submission was actually based off of, like, uniquely based off of, like, a major arcade game.
Yeah. Old school arcade games for sure. You got Galaga, you got
Arkanoids.
yeah, you got Arkanoids or Brick Break, you got Pac-Man, yeah.
And then I guess Apple Man would be more akin to
Like Mario, I guess.
well, actually, it could be Mario. You could also say like Metroid, Castlevania, but it's I guess there's much of, I don't know if there's much of Metroidvania-esque aspect to it. It looks just like it's linear, like straightforward.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, and you know, if anyone ever wants to look at like what jams are out there, I discovered this like while doing the jam because they put their jam on itch, but there's so many. So look how many joined the Bullet Hell jam, like 1,700.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Yeah, there's jams all the time. Like I think like one day I'm just gonna look at one of these, just pick one and just do it.
Yeah, I totally get that, man.
And like
Wow.
it's pretty rewarding. Like even if
Oh,
you
yeah.
don't,
Look at
even
that.
if you don't,
Metroidvania month.
wow.
Yo, that's awesome.
But yeah,
Metroidvanias are so fun.
yes, they are.
They really are. So yeah, we were glad to participate.
Yeah,
And,
the word for sure.
yeah. We'll provide, updates on like who's selected for the winner
Yes, yeah.
Holy-
next week or whenever the results come.
Yep.
So now we're gonna pivot back to Wake Up, the 2D platformer that we've been working on since we started this channel.
Yeah. Back in what, January now, I think?
Yeah, January. Basically
Crazy.
first week,
Crazy.
I think. This weekish.
Yeah. But all right, cool. So to remember where we were the last time we worked on Wake Up, we were fixing some stuff with the our fade in and our fade out. So if Alex, if you play the game, what we added was when the player falls in lava, for example, or when they die, it fades to black and then it'll respawn them. And we have some issues that we still need to fix where when the player when they move while in the lava, we don't lock their control, so we'll be fixing that today. And then, oh man, why does that animation not change itself?
Is he still in the air, technically?
I feel like we should like kind of try to fix that.
Yeah, our ground check is not working right because it should be switching to the sprite. That just looks so awkward.
It's like
He's just fucking holding. He's just holding his hands up.
where do I go? Where do I go?
Yeah, he's like hoisting something. But yeah, so and the next thing we want to do is start building out our level 2 because once you get this keyframe here and the music plays, yep, you do not have the keyframe. Once you get it and then open the door or go to the door, you unlock the thing. Yep, cool. And now
And then it plays that animation. And what we want to do now, well, maybe not right now, but in this stream, is set up the logic for us to be able to interact with the door so that the player gets moved to the next section.
exactly.
Okay, so now I gotta remember what I was talking about because I remember we were talking about this a bit. So we have to make sure that the overlay for one doesn't trigger itself when you click on X again. And I think I remember I raised the point that having that whole thing of because the interact controller is not always just gonna be used for a door. It could be some other interaction. So having like specific like press X
door
to
logic,
enter next
yeah.
section, or even like just
Yeah.
moving on to the next level shouldn't be in interact controller, but in
I
some
agree.
other format. That in which I have no clue which how to go about that. We can have like a separate like scene manager sort of that could handle it, but we just have to make sure that it overtakes what this guy does.
Yeah, and that, and that's where it's weird. Yeah, I think what we need is something either like a interact controller. I don't know how to explain it. Like what we could do is then, again, this is just high level, attach an interaction to different objects, right? And then the interact controller just takes that interaction and does whatever it might be. So, for example, if you go to a door that's unlocked and you press the action button X, that door should know that its interaction is to I don't know, move to section 2, or if the player doesn't have the keyframe, it needs to know, okay, or it should get it from the door, like, okay, it does not have keyframe or whatever. Just open the overlay. Or again, in the future, if we add like a sign in the game or a sort of like hint in the world that the player can interact with to see something like, hey, if you're having some trouble, do X, Y, or Z, it should know what to do so that it can just handle any kind of interaction. But again, that's, I don't know how you go about coding that or if that is even the right design.
I mean, we could, we could make it so that this is sort of like a parent-child type of deal instead of like two different objects. So where the interact
That's what I
controller
was thinking.
is like the parent, and then the specific, because we did that with the viruses in the game jam, right?
Game Jam.
Safe surfing.
We had like a base enemy controller class which did like the standard behaviors, but then the and we had the subclasses actually implement the what these things should be. So we could do
Got
the
it, I
same thing,
understand.
like where door controller is an interact controller, or we have an interact overlay controller that is an interact controller, and then the door controller, which is an interact overlay controller. So that way, this can control if an interact overlay should even pop up.
Got you. Okay, yeah, that could work. But one last idea that just popped into my head. We always need different code to run during an interaction based on various parameters. I remember now when we were doing safe surfing. Remember we made that util timed action,
Mhm.
and then we just sent it a lambda, and it could do anything we wanted.
Yeah.
maybe we could use that kind of design. So maybe let's say again, just a thought. If we don't do it as a parent-child thing, if interact controller, we find a way to make it generic or give it a method called, I don't know, like action to play on. I don't know. I'm not sure what. But in the same way how we were able to send a lambda and you could use it in any class
Yeah.
because they just need to send whatever they need to do, we could do a similar kind of thing for interact where we could just say whoever so interact is started, and if it's a door that is already unlocked, it sends a method that's like, move player. If it's a sign, it sends a method that's just like, open sign. Or if it's a hint or a pickup, it says like pickup item or something. Just a thought. Do you guys think that has any application here? If not, I'm fine with going the
Well,
child route.
it would,
but, yeah.
but like that behavior would specifically be in the child.
Which behavior? Sorry.
Like what you're saying, like if it's like conditionally, it's doing different things based on certain parameters. That would specifically be in the child. Like for example, for door, if it's if it's the keyframe has not been confirmed, then you want to call interact overlay because that's what that normally does.
Yeah.
But if it has been planned and they've already used it, then at that point they want to move on, so they won't call this. But yeah.
Okay, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's a mix of both.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, I get that. Sure.
So, well, I'm not sure about interact overlay controller right now, only because it's it's on this guy. It's on overlay here, right?
Yeah.
So we can't really make it too much a part of it, but we can control even sending it anything.
Say that again?
We can control whether we send it that event or not, like that interact event or not.
I get you. Yeah. Okay.
Like here we're saying on interact raise, but we can say in the or we just have to like prevent this, right? So here we are on in the overlay, and then here we are in the game event listener. Here we may not want to do this part. Set overlay state, and then just do that. We may want to do that in door controller. It's that way.
I get you. Yeah. I get you. I get you. Yeah. So on interact can stay, but we can choose what we do on interact, and in some cases we'll set overlay state. In some cases we'll just move the player or something.
Right. So I'm just trying to figure out what on interact do. I'm just trying to figure that out real quick. Thinking.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's what I'm saying about sending a lambda, because in the same way that you told that time that action, or like we sent it a thing to do, it feels like we should we need a complex way of knowing what everything needs to do at each time, like know if the keyframe is done, do X, Y, Z, blah 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 blah, or if we could like send, again, it's an event. I don't know if you can send lambdas and stuff through events.
No, that's the thing.
So maybe not.
If that was possible, I would have done that way long ago. In fact, it's not. I've looked into it, and it's like it's just integers, floats, almost like the primary types. You can send objects.
Types, yeah.
So I guess it is possible in a way. Like you could send an actual lambda via if it's like an object, but
I get that. Yeah,
I'm not too
but
like if it's object
the
value.
right way to do it though. Yeah, it seems like it could be tough in all honesty, or like it might have a lot of complex implications. So maybe let's see. How do we tell the interact what to do?
I'll be back in a bit, guys. Hold on. Sorry.
No problem.
Well, let's start with something I guess simpler, right? We have interact controller. Let's start from there. We know interact controllers have prompts, right? Regardless of what it is. So we want to keep that there. We do want to keep like an in area thing going on.
Yeah, we definitely want to keep like most of this code, I think, is kept. It just handles like, is the player in the area and what text to show. We probably need to You see how we're hard coding that string there? Like press X to enter next.
Yeah, this will
section,
actually be in the
you'll-
door. Oh,
Whoa. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It should be on the object that it needs. I'm trying to think. Could scriptable objects come into play here?
so let's start with trying to. Okay, so this is we're doing this on update, but is interact is open.
Yeah, that's if the overlay is open or not.
So we want to kind of remove that dependency there.
Yeah. What we want to do is like we still need that logic, but as you said, that can be in a child.
What if we do something like so we have in area, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we can keep that private for now. What if we have something like not really is open, but is interacting, right? So we have portlet pool is interacting. How do
What's the difference between this and is open? Because you're saying it won't be tied to the overlay.
exactly whether an
Right,
overlay is open, more like whether you're interacting or not interacting, right?
Got
This
that.
way,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
door
yeah.
controller can really control that aspect.
Mhm.
Because when
I
you're
feel that, yeah.
interacting, you really want to like, let's just say if you're interacting, time should just stop.
Yeah, time should stop, player movement should stop,
Hmm.
all those things. Yeah, and all that generic stuff can go in here, and then go to interact overlay controller. Maybe, right? Maybe we make this static, and then anyone who wants to open the overlay can just say, like interact overlay controller dot update main text or open the overlay blah blah blah. Because honestly, we don't need to have. I mean, so I remember you were saying we could create a prefab and create a new instance every time we need it.
Right, exactly.
Or I guess we could have a static instance that just everyone can use.
Well,
Both.
yeah,
ahead.
either or, right? For example,
Mhm.
we could have an interact controller that's like a singleton, so that it'll
Yeah,
it'll, it'll
exactly.
it'll just be like game manager. You know, you just call it, you send it some text, you indicate, hey, you want this to open. So we can
Yeah,
go that
exactly.
route. I think we can. I don't think we really want to do scriptable object route right now,
Mhm.
mainly because I guess it really depends.
No. I think you're on something. I also feel like that isn't the way to do it. I think that your prefab way also works. I'm trying to think of which way is better.
So let's
Like,
let's just start with this, right? I'm always trying to remember
Yeah.
which way is best. So we have is interacting. We can keep that public.
Mhm.
But then do like a get and then a protected set. I think that's okay.
I'm
Okay,
back,
yeah.
guys.
So only children can set it, and everyone else just can only do a get.
Yeah. So here, if we have
Got it.
is pressing interact,
Mhm.
and not is interacting.
Then you'll do something. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we can just I mean we can sort of on interact raise that event anyway, but we may not actually be listening to it. Oops.
Got it.
There we are. So let me comment out is open for now. We want to move away from that, right? So here
Yeah.
we don't want the player to move, right? But is there something where players player?
We should make a method like disable player or something.
So we have disable. We have is interacting.
What do we do when the overlay
Oh,
comes up?
there you
like, when
go.
interact with the door?
Huh?
Like, what are we doing with the player when we interact with the door and the overlay comes up?
They can't move.
Yeah, they can't move. I
Right.
remember.
That's how
So we still want to keep
what we're looking
on interact because players using that actually to
okay.
set their
Really?
whether they're moving or not during that time. So
Oh,
we can
yeah,
keep
yeah,
that.
yeah,
I don't
right.
mind that.
Yeah, that's fine.
So here we have on interact raise. So if is pressing interact and not interacting, then on interact raise, right? We can keep that going.
Mm-hmm.
And if pressing escape and is interacting, raise this, right? And let me just comment this out. So I think we can keep it pretty much just like this simple. And then not as interacting. Right, the prompt disappears when this makes sense?
Go through one more time. Okay, so is interacting. If they're pressing X and they're not interacting, then you raise on interact. Sure, sounds good.
Oh, and of
If
course,
they're pressing escape,
set this to true.
yep. And then if they're pressing escape and they are interacting, then you raise false and you set it to false. Okay, yeah, that's a simple,
That makes sense.
easy
Yeah.
controller, and then the children or whatever it is will be able to, or other people will be able to handle and adapt from this instance. So also, Chris, what I was saying was maybe, so there's two ways to go about the overlay controller, because this is the interact controller, just about, interacting with objects, but not necessarily the overlay. I was saying, so there are two ways to go about it. We can either make the overlay a prefab, as Alex was saying a bit earlier, where whenever someone's interacting and they need to have an overlay, we can just instantiate an instance of that and give it the data it needs. Or I was saying we can make like a singleton or like a static class of the overlay and make it accessible to everyone. So anyone who needs to open an overlay can just, do like overlay dot set text and then overlay dot open or something.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to pick both ways, but again, that's not for right now, but it's just something to bring up.
Yeah, I think both ways could work. I think I'm drawn to the prefab way, but
Okay.
I guess whatever's easier to implement.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Correct. Yeah, okay, so this is what's gonna happen, right? We're gonna do the private set and everything, like our protected set there. You know what? Is interacting. The reason we need this is simply because we need something to hold the value if we're actually gonna do this. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna say get returns is interacting.
Okay, sure. Mhm.
And then set if is interacting is not equal to value, then is interacting is equal to true. On interact change, and then
What
value?
Yeah. What's the value?
whenever set like
You set, yeah. So you're setting
if
is
say
interacting to a value.
if you set is interacting to false, value will be false. So it's whatever value is coming through.
Okay, so this is shorthand for a setter.
Yeah.
Like you're not actually passing it.
Exactly.
Okay.
When you so basically it's a way to yeah, it's exactly as you said. Oh, and then of course is interacting is value, right? Then we have an on interact change.
And do we need to change the is interacting to underscore? Everywhere?
No, not everywhere. You can actually use the same thing because the underscore is to retain the value, right? Because when you actually define a set and not just leave it as default set, it's not. Normally, it would set itself, right? Is interacting. If it has getter setter, then it itself is the variable.
Yeah.
But when you're actually defining a setter, it is no longer like you're setting this variable. This is now more like a getter setter function to this variable.
I get it.
So you can still use this throughout, like as you would. But here, what we can do is we can do something like that, right? So now it'll always, regardless of what you here, you don't have to raise it
because no matter what, it'll just raise and then go back up, so I can see. And then it raises on interact change, which does it just does. And how does it know which value to raise? It raises
regardless
the value of is interacting.
Yeah, it just regardless what it is. The only time this is called though is if the value is different. So if it was false before and then it was true, then it'll be called vice versa, right?
Got it. Yep.
So this way, this is going to be triggered, and then if we want to leave this alone as is for a specific interact controller, like here we have a game event called on interact, but it doesn't have to literally be on interact. It could be like, on lever pressed, and then some other action can occur. So we keep this sort of as base as possible, right?
I get that. Yep.
But then when
that works.
and then we don't make this an abstract class. But when we want more like behavior to it, we have the door controller, which could be an interact controller. And in this case, let me make sure I'm not doing anything on start. I guess I am, but I don't think it's like it's false by default, so I don't think we actually have to set it
Yeah,
here.
so we can just we can get rid of that.
But I always like to private none void initialize, just in case we ever need it. Private virtual, which does nothing here, or it can do something. Just at this guy gets called here. And then we just have to be conscious of the fact that start is usually on the base class, but anything you can do in the start, you just like this way we can preserve what's happening.
Can we change it to initialize instead of initialized?
Did I say initialized? Oh, whoops.
I think it's because it did an autofill thing. Cool. I'll be right back in like 30 seconds. I'll be back in 30 seconds.
No problem. So instead of here, we're gonna override initialize to initialize what we gotta do. Here we gotta do this. Chris, you're still here?
Yes.
Okay, so does this so far make sense?
Yeah.
So now we can still have the on interact here because it's here, so we'll still have all that capabilities. But now we have invoke door going on, right?
Right.
And before, and let me just double check that this is happening. What is doors? Door is this one, right? Honestly, don't remember what we were doing with door. Here we are, yeah. See, we were actually on the same, like, we had a game event listener where we called the doors function.
Yes.
But we no longer really need to do that, right?
Right.
Because door will do its own functions.
Right.
I mean, we could still do this portion, which is setting the interacts check X marks.
Yes.
For on key flame attained and on level start. So press X to interact and press X to unlock. We still could keep that code. But now it could set its own code for like on interact and key flame and all that.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so we no longer need the invoke open door thing here. Yeah, we still have that. On interact is still going on here. Overlay on her checkpoint. So I was telling Chris that we had an invoke door on the same class. On the same object, like invoke door open, which animated it.
Okay.
But the thing is, we had the interact controller and the door controller on the same class, and basically the game event listener was redirecting, like on interact from here to go to door controller code, all that stuff.
I remember doing that, yeah.
But now we don't even need interact controller because this is just going to be the same thing, right? We're going to have on interact.
Like a child, right?
Yeah, and then we have interact text. Overlay open, I'm still unsure if we really need that right now. Considering we're moving away from that, right?
Yeah, because we'll need it when opening the overlay, but I don't know if we need it, or it might get refactored.
Yeah, exactly. Because the reason we had it there was so that we know if the overlay closed on that end, like on our end, so that we share that value. But if we're going to do it a certain type of way, we may not need it. But for now, I'll keep it there.
Okay.
But yeah, and we can keep these, right? Because we still want on level start and on key flame obtain, which is happening elsewhere, to control the interact text. Right?
Yep, makes sense.
But now we can actually check, if door was opened. So if not is open and key flame obtain, open door. Yeah, so here we can do something like private pool is door open.
Right.
What's this wait?
This is just waiting set because we did it where when the overlay closes after they unlock it, it animates the door. But if it happens instantly, they might not see it before the transition of the overlay is done. Yeah.
That makes sense. So I guess we can keep that, right? So we're gonna
Yeah.
say something like, this is no longer gonna be now we're gonna override on interact change, right?
Also, I think I know this is a quick aside, but maybe we can do it now or off stream. But we should definitely pull in some of that code from safe surfing, like the util.time it timed action stuff.
Oh
came
yeah,
in so
definitely.
handy for us
Yeah.
in so many
I
ways.
mean, we could do that right now. We could just
Sure.
I'll create a common file real quick. So that's where we had it.
Yeah. I think we already have a. Oh no, we don't have a folder. Yeah.
Common.
Create a common folder, and then we can put that a util in there. Because how many times did we use that in a safe surfing? Like
So
a
many.
billion. It came in so clutch. Instead of having to write the same I enumerator everywhere over and over and over. You know what I mean?
Let's open up safe surfing.
Sorry, I didn't mean to take.
No, it's cool.
Too much time.
I mean, we could put constants in there as well at some point. So we have public static class this. At some point, we also probably should add namespaces, but I'm not going to do all that right now.
Yeah, no, we can do that off stream.
Did I not make a folder? Oh, because I have it in any scripts, right? C# util.
Then yep, there's copy pasta.
Yep. Here we go. Copy the pasta. Any action? Timed action. Cool. Yeah, we can just keep it like that. So here we have.
Yeah. So now.
controller.
Yep, exactly. We can, and then an open door, we can just change that to util.timed action.
Just thinking a little bit about Yeah. So here we're gonna have if is not interacting, I think.
Okay.
Or I
What
think
which case are you trying to account for? So I mean,
this we want to set this. No.
You want to set
this to next section. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Door controller. So if. Yeah, because it's at this point where it's not interacting. That we want to
change the text.
Yeah, because is interacting that that this is what it is, right? Yes, exactly. We want to change the text. Keyframe obtained. So this is very much door specific, right?
Yeah, this is very door specific.
What else? We need to do the open door as well. On is interacting. Oh yeah, right. If is interacting. And yeah, we're gonna do this. Okay. So there's two cases that we have to handle from here.
Okay.
One, if it is interacting, then we're going to want to decide two things. If
yeah, they have the keyframe, or no, sorry, yeah. So wait, is door open means like has the animation been finished, right? Like, is it open?
Right, exactly. Or here we go. I almost forgot. We should also have a can door.
Okay, that's after the keyframe is obtained, but you don't necessarily open the door yet.
Hold on. Oh no, my bad.
Wait, wouldn't that be key obtained?
Yeah. Here we go.
Okay.
If
yeah.
So we need that up there as well, yeah.
If key obtained Logic.
Yeah, if they
Hate it.
yeah, so if they're not interacting, or sorry, if they so go to the top if they're interacting, um, and if the door is open, and well, no, is so doors open should be set when we set like in that if because what we need to do is say if they're not interacting anymore and they have the keyframe, then we need to change the text and say is door open because the animation will play and the door will be open. Yeah, exactly. So close
Let me just
overlay,
confirm something.
close the overlay,
Yeah.
and then on the go ahead, go ahead. I was gonna say on the lines below, then on the one where you check the key obtained thing, we can put a comment saying and keyframe obtained or like I don't know. Yeah, lots of good stuff.
Yeah, I think so. On it is interacting. We want to open overlay, right?
Yeah, that's
If
generally.
not, if not
If
is
not, is door open.
This is like default behavior right here.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then otherwise, we want to.
Go to next section.
And now this is where and now this is where we have we will probably make the code more generic because we can probably use this for going to new sections as well as maybe other stuff. But yes, that's right. Yeah.
So we have going to new section and then so if not interacting, that means they closed it, right? And if keyframe obtained,
Then set is door open because if the keyframe obtained and this text is being changed, it means that the door will be open.
okay, so we actually need
we
need to do a couple things. We need to this is where we want to
open
do
the door.
right. We want to prompt dot UI. Okay.
What are you trying to do?
Util dot timed action.
Mm-hmm.
Now before action, we want to have a after action, right? And that action is basically
it's just calling open door, but we'll. Oh, okay. Yeah.
is door open to true, and this guy, right?
After 0.2, and we can make that a constant. Yeah.
And then for 0.25, right?
Yeah, but so I'm saying the alternative that we could do is we could put that same code inside of open door and then just do a lambda to open door.
Yeah, that might be cleaner.
Sorry, what?
Yeah. We can put lines 36 and 37 into open door and then just do a lambda to call open door. It'll be a little bit cleaner.
Oh, well, actually, if you're talking about that, then we can actually do something like this.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Yep, exactly.
But we don't need to make a lambda to call it. It is the lambda. No, it's not the lambda, but it is literally the function to call. Because by default, like the reason we may have to do lambdas sometimes is because we want certain parameters to come through. However, these are Unity actions that are parameterless functions. So actual parameterless functions work fine.
Okay, and so when you do this, you don't need to send the parentheses. You can just send the name of the method.
Exactly. So the
cool.
the other issue is like when we have things that we actually want to send as parameters, then we have to do it as lambda. So what it's going to do there is it's going to call an anonymous method, which is going to be defined here. It literally comes back to here. If you look at the stack trace, calls it, and then.
Okay, I get you. I get you. Sure. Okay. So yeah. So then this works.
Yeah. So the next interact will essentially be like is door open over here.
Yeah.
Or here in this section.
Sorry. Yeah. In the else.
So now what we can do here, right? So let's go back to this guy. Our checkpoint, right? Again, I'm not sure if I'm using. Okay, let me get rid of this guy. Remove interact controller because door controller is interact controller. Wait, Control Z. Press X to interact and press. Okay.
Where is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just now we're switching it over to door controller because it's
Mhm.
set prompt text. Okay, cool. So now removing this should have no consequence. There we go. And I mean, not sure if I even want game event listener to That's fine. We can keep it there. Yeah, and this way we can set prompt text through this, right?
Yeah.
Overlay open, not needed. Okay, cool. So just by default, this should sort of act as it was before.
Yeah, let's test it out. So when you do this.
We get that window, right? When we go back.
Okay, and this is all happening through door controller, right?
Now, yeah.
Okay.
Right. So now what we're gonna
And
do
now-
is we're gonna move out
Mhm.
the overlay from where it is.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
As in, like, we're gonna move the interact overlay controller, you mean, or do you mean like the overlay like object and make it a prefab and stuff?
We're gonna make the overlay object itself a prefab.
Mhm.
And let me think. We could actually make it like a not a mod behavior, a scriptable object.
Oh, a scriptable object. Okay.
Yeah. This way, it doesn't actually have to be on the scene at any one point. At that point, it will sort of let's look at what goes on here. So on interact false is gonna close it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which works fine, I think, if we set overlay state. Interact. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, let's try it. Let's try things out. See if things work. New scriptable object. And this doesn't necessarily have to be what do you call it? Yeah, here's what we can try. We can just call it a spawner.
And a spawner, and so what does it do?
Literally just that. Scriptable object.
Or sorry, I mean, like, what will it spawn?
Game object.
Oh, just any game object. Okay.
Any game object. Yeah. And then let me think. What is the best way? Yeah, we have spawner. We have the prefab interact overlay controller right here. We have update main text. Let me see what we're doing here.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so there's some interactions happening right outside of this. Like, for example, on game event listener on level start, it's setting this particular text. And then on keyflame obtain, it's setting this specific text as well.
Yeah, I remember we did this. Yeah. So we have to kind of like work that out, right? And like pull that out.
Yeah, somehow. Because what the way I see it is that this can actually be overlay should be called in code.
I get that. Yeah.
That way, it'll be created or shown on it like via code, and we would have some sort of hookup to close it out.
Got it. Yeah. So then we also need like some generic things. That's why I was saying, I think that the prefab works still, but we need some sort of a generic way to set it, so that like when the player gets the keyflame or something, we need a generic event to fire and be like update like overlay text or something.
Right, exactly.
It'll still be the same event, but it'll be handled through code and not through the not necessarily through the game event listener. But I'm trying to think. Oh man, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of tough.
On keyframe obtain. We don't want to make it specific to door controller, right?
I don't think so because they're. I'm trying to think. Because the keyframes in this game, as of right now, they only affect doors, right? But they might affect something else in the future, or do we only want keyframes in level 1 for darkness, and then in heights or fear of water or whatever, will there still be keyframes, or we have a whole different like idea?
Game
I don't
event
know if we have the answer to
listeners.
that, but-
Game event listeners. How do they work again? So on enable, on disable. On enable event registers to these listeners. On disable it doesn't. So these also wouldn't work even if they were in a prefab. These actually have to be living, like existing.
I get you.
So I think we may have to go the singleton route. Not
Gotcha.
a like a generic creation of it, but like a singleton where we can actually set these things. The issue.
I think we could still do the prefab way, but we would need to make like a constructor or like a instantiator of like overlay that takes everything it could possibly need. So, like main text, closing text. That's honestly it. Like
Well,
it
are
just
these
takes two
two?
things.
Are these two always gonna? It's always gonna be this, right? Like, is it always for not for every level, but specifically for all the darkness level? Is it always gonna be on level start, and like on keyframe obtain, and this is the text we're always gonna show?
We could change up the text, but it's those same events. Like we need to on level start on level start or maybe not even on level start, because maybe if we're going to do it as a prefab, so when the player first interacts, the first time the overlay comes up or something, it's some text, and then when they get the keyframe, it should change to some text, because maybe in level 2 we will say you've obtained the second keyframe, you can go to the second door or something. So it should be be variable, but it should be the same events, I think. Yeah.
Okay, I see. So let me go to door controller real quick. We are listening to the same events, but we're looking at door controller specifically.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I don't know. We'll start. Can overlay ever be used for any other object other than doors?
I think ideally it should be, yeah. Like just in case we add a hint box or something, or like a hint sign for a player who's stuck, or if we let the player at some point pick up an item that, again, like right now, you see how when they pick up the first light in the game, they kind of like walk into it and it just like attaches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I could see us changing it so that you pick up that light and it says you found a light and attached it to your belt or something, and so it's just not like attached for no reason.
Are we always going to use press escape to close?
I think we should. I think we should be consistent with our button presses. So if we're going to pick escape, I think that escape should be how you exit all interactions. Yeah.
So perhaps we shouldn't have it do update closing text then? What do you guys think?
Yeah, I get that. Maybe we don't do that. I'm trying to think. Do we ever? I think that we'll probably make this game in a way where we'll have like short bits of text, because it's supposed to be more like a fear-ish game. So I doubt we'll have like long pieces of text. But
right,
I doubt we'll need like a continue, right? Like you read the first piece of text, then you read the second and third. Like maybe in a different game where there's like dialogue, sure. But right now, I don't think we need that. So yeah, I think it can always be escape to close. At least in my opinion.
Okay, so then I'm just gonna remove this little thing then for now.
Sure, yeah,
Is it
I
just
get that.
is it already escaped to console?
Yeah, by default, I think
It's not,
safe
but
to
we can add
clone.
it. I just did.
Oh, okay.
So let's get rid of that. So now we just have to worry about one single update main text, right? And we just have to figure
Yeah,
out at
to
what
be
point.
honest.
Yeah, I think I have an idea of how we may want to do this. Then we may want to do this like
Yeah.
via code, like this, it almost like we're sending over like a message, like open with this text.
Yeah, exactly that. Like we're just like it's literally like the same thing. Like it's instead of being an event that we'll have on this UI, we can call it from somewhere in the code and just send the message we want to show as well. Instead of having to
Suppose.
make it on game event listener. At least I think. So spawner just spawns an object, interact overlay controller. So I guess this time, because it doesn't have to do with interact, we should just change this. Can we refactor this name to just overlay controller? Because now it doesn't have to do with interactions necessarily, right?
Right. That is true.
And then then that changes the file name as well.
It did.
Nice.
But that also probably
Yeah, it's probably going to be all angry and be like, I don't
Nope.
know what an interact
works
overlay controller.
great.
Wow. Nice.
And actually, maybe we can have perhaps we can have interact overlay a between thing,
What do you mean?
like a new like an actual interact overlay controller. That is also a door controller, like an in-betweeny. Such a weird word. Sorry. A subclass in between interact and door controller.
And what would it do?
Okay.
As it sounds, we would actually have it call the interact controller to open up. Like for example,
Called
if we
interact controller or call? Uh-huh.
yeah, if we have interact controller, now that we're not like specifically saying that it's any specific one,
Mhm.
we can just make it like this definitely no, this guy, we can definitely make it a singleton. Like oh, okay, let me just
Okay, so we're going the singleton route, not the prefab route for the overlay then?
yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I mean, we could have it as a prefab, of course, but
Yeah, I'm just trying to think which one is, if we're able to even do that. Like, would we be able to make it a prefab and then instantiate a prefab with some default parameters, like by sending the main text, or are we just gonna have it be the overlay where it always exists and just different classes will update the text?
I mean, we'll see. Hold on. So I just wake. Yeah, let's do wake. Public static t instance. Let's make this a get and private set. And if instance is equal to null, instance is equal to this. Don't destroy unload same object. What? Cannot implicitly convert type. What is instance?
What? What is we? Is it because of T? I don't know.
Hold on. Actually, trying to remember the way this goes, because I was kind of like, because I realized if we're gonna make singletons, we might as well make a sort of base class.
Right.
So T should be the type of instance.
Mm-hmm.
And we, yeah, something like where. Okay, let me look it up because I forgot. No.
You might have to like cast it like this as T.
Oh no, I remember now. New. Or where? See? New.
Wait, what?
Yeah. That. Or that.
Bruh. What?
Can you try what I said?
Yeah, there you
Or
go.
Okay, I don't understand what just happened. I don't know what you just did.
Hmm. I'm trying to figure out if this is correct. Singleton type T.
Why make a singleton base class though? I get it generically, but like
I guess if we want to make multiple singletons, you use this format.
Right,
So we're not
exactly.
as
creating
in like multiple overlay singletons or like different singletons, you mean?
like if we're using a singleton for different reasons, and we don't want to like rewrite the code for it.
Okay, so this would be very bare bones, just like a base class then.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Okay, cool.
I'm just trying to figure out if this is correct. I honestly have no clue.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you did there.
Me neither. Hold on. There was like this sort of guide, but let me. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to block out my display capture for a second
No problem.
and look at the little guide. For the, because these people made like a prefab list that you know, I'd like to take some inspiration from over here.
Yeah, I totally get that.
Basically, like just a list of codes that they have, trying to sort of is it no? Is this it? No. I think this is it.
Looking on Microsoft Docs, and it
No,
has
this-
doc on the new constraint. That's what you just did. Specifies that a type argument in a generic class declaration must have a public parameterless constructor.
Yeah, this way you can actually create an instance of it, even though it's generic. That's the cool thing
Right.
about it.
And then you could also use a new keyword to create an instance of a type.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's what we're doing.
Right. Yeah. So if we go to, we got singleton somewhere here, right? A profile. Here we go. Public class profile singleton. Yeah. So this was it, right? And then the player has that. Keeps the instance. Public class profile. But we don't necessarily have to. All right. Maybe this is like something I have to figure out like later or something like that. All right.
Yeah, maybe.
Coming up, getting back online. Well, we can give it a good like a good try here, right? So we're not going to
Sure.
create. So instance is equal to. I think you're right. I think I might have to cast it. He is.
Well, no, I don't even think you need to do that if you're just gonna cast it like that.
Well, what's the issue?
Oh,
Oh, okay. Nope.
wait, what?
Can I convert singleton T to?
Maybe you do need the where T.
Yeah, this is a weird one.
Where he is singleton. Okay, I guess. So I could just say this.
That's kind of weird. I don't understand what it's doing. No, that's not working.
Yeah, it's not working. Yeah. Yo, this is a weird one. Maybe for right now we just make the overlay a singleton alone.
Yeah,
we
we
come back
cannot
and
implicitly
refactor?
convert singleton T to T.
I found a GitHub like example. I mean, this is from like a while ago, but
Pass it.
hold on.
Pass it over here.
I don't know the context, but
Let's check out this GitHub. Where T is component. I see.
I guess wait, actually below is what we're doing. That one. You see, oh, instance equals this as T, but they have on line 30 where T component.
This as T. That is exactly what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. But yeah.
Well, let's go back to it and see if. Oh, wait, hold on. He did add like a T component, right?
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Whatever that does.
Right, because the reason the casting wasn't working was because you don't know what type T is, even like at like a base level. What is it? You know, if you don't have this, T is just T. It's just something that we gave it. It could be anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
An instance, so like when it doesn't have like there's no type constraint. That's what it was. So we actually had to add a type constraint. That's all.
And so, what is component? Yeah.
That's like the base of like mono behavior of anything really. Anything that gets attached to a game object is a component.
I get it. Okay.
So hey, thank you, Chris.
So let's just see if this like works, and if not, let's just table it.
Yeah. So here now we are in a singleton, right? And we're not going to destroy and load this time, ever, forever, and ever.
Mm-hmm.
And here we have public void update main text, so we got that going. But this time we can simply just open it and close it as we want, right?
Yeah. We need to close.
And we're not going to use that for now. In fact, we're just going to not even think about that. Is it on interact controller as well? Bye. Yeah, we're just gonna say open is true.
Mm-hmm. And close is false.
Yeah. And yeah, I think that should just work, right? So here on door controller, if it's interacting, instance overlay controller.
Yeah, overlay
Instance
controller
dot open.
instance open.
Oh, and of course.
Or that goes actually inside of that first if, no?
What?
Shouldn't that go inside of
not if door open?
Yeah.
I think you need a semicolon where you just pasted that.
Yeah, I know. I'm just
yeah. Main.
So we may not need these like public functions no more. Simply.
You put main.
Text.
Yeah, and then and so now, or we can just call them. Okay, yeah, sure, that works actually.
Yeah,
just do all that in a one fell swoop.
And then here we have door controller, which opens with specific text.
Wait, is closing text? It's not going to change.
No, we're going to just keep it as escape.
Yeah, and here we can have like well, we need to know what set text to send it.
Yeah, and so that's because then we'll have a lot of text hard coded in here, whereas I guess ideally we want it in the editor, not in here, right?
Hold up. Let me uncomment these real quick. Otherwise, we'll lose the text. Okay, you do not have the keyframe. So this happens on level start, right? Okay, I think I know what we gotta do. Interfaces. Public interface. I let me think.
So what are you trying to? Which kind of interface? Sorry, trying to follow.
I has overlay text. Public.
I had overlaid.
I know, right? I would make it have, but
No, that's fine.
public string void set overlay text string text door
And
controller.
so interface and so door controller. And so are you saying that every interact controller that, or sorry, every different controller can update its own text, its own overlay text, or is it just setting the string?
This is
overlay.
just
I get you,
this
I
is just our way of doing this.
Okay, I get it.
Let me just move
And
this.
so then this is what we'll send when we call open.
Exactly. So here we have open, right?
Yep.
Open overlay. And then we just want to make sure. So this basically just exposes door controller to have it. We don't have to explicitly keep it on door controller. We make an interface so that we just attach it to something and we know that we can at least call that function, right? Door controller has to handle
No,
that.
sorry, I didn't understand. Sorry, can you say that again?
You see what I'm doing here on level start with door
Yep.
control with hard checkpoint? We can add another one.
Yeah.
Add door controller to it again. We have door. Basically itself.
Mm-hmm.
Door controller. Yeah, see set overlay text.
Okay, so we can effectively do the same thing, but it's better handled.
Right, exactly. And honestly, like I'm foregoing this right now, but we could have also created a interact overlay controller that's specifically like, you know, it or overlay interact controller that inherits from interact controller and has like that whole I can overlay or just has the function by itself.
I get you. Yeah.
And then still have it so that what's it called? Door controller just sends it over or something like that, or something like that. We can always refactor, but for now, this is like the quickest.
Cool. Yeah, I'm fine with that refactoring at a later time.
Set overlay text, and this is on keyframe obtained, so it pretty much mirrors overlay here. And this, and then we can just now we can pretty much just get rid of the game event listeners here. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So now that this is a singleton, it is no longer tied to any specific scene.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, that was my goal. So that like this way, like it's now controlled by outer things. It's now triggered by other things.
Got you. Mm-hmm.
So if is interacting and if not is interacting, I'm gonna instance that close. And that is to say, if we can actually keep this, have like a as is open thing here. Private pool is open. If open, if it's open, return.
Mm-hmm.
And then here,
Oh.
if not open, return is open, is equal to false. Is equal to true. And let's see how that
Yeah,
works.
that works. Mm-hmm. Nice refactoring, man.
Okay, cool.
Cool. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
You are permitted to keyframe. Oh, right. Wait, what?
No, that was right. That was right.
It should have opened the door, no?
Yeah.
But the door didn't open. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just. Let's just see.
Probably gonna have to put some breakpoints just because we have a lot of things wired up here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Door controller. Wow, I'm looking at the wrong project. I'm Xing this thing out.
Oh yeah.
I'm like DDoS. It's not door.
Okay, so
I wonder if by changing things, does it still have the right animator? Because that should still work, or we can put a breakpoint in there and just see if it's even like coming here to open the door.
right.
Are we calling open door? What do we call open door? We call it from the util that time that action above, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's at a breakpoint. Huh? Oh, this is not it. Okay. We have this guy. Close it. Interact.
Mhm.
Close. Boom, 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 boom. Unlock.
And now here's where it
Close.
should play.
It's not
Press X again. Press X again, and let's see what happens. It's the same thing, right? Okay.
okay. So see if it's going in the.
Util.time to action.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
even attach. I think I did
Hmm?
attach, but then oh, okay. I'm gonna attach again. Oh, okay. For some reason, debugging was not enabled.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
okay. So let's see.
It's closing, as it should. Or keep
All
saying
right.
it's false.
That's good.
Unlock. Closing. And here we are again.
It never went into open door.
It might.
It's hard to debug with like the wait.
Wait for seconds, right?
Yeah.
Well, it still should go up in there. I mean,
Go
I could
inside.
actually debug here.
Are you sure you don't need the parentheses? I don't know if it matters, but I feel like we had it in save surfing. I could be wrong though. I totally could be wrong.
Hold on, let me see what door controller does again. We have private void.
Yeah.
It shouldn't because what we're sending is a method that it's gonna call itself.
Yeah, you're right.
Wait, Alex. So can you not don't put a breakpoint on on the if there. So but keep it in open door. I just want to see if it actually goes in there.
It didn't. I had it on there. I'm actually gonna go. I'm actually put a breakpoint on.
Because I know you had a breakpoint on there. Okay, yeah, that might work. I have this problem with JavaScript sometimes when you like set the timeout and there's intervals and stuff.
Yeah. Then it like
in there, it does a whole
Mhm.
other shit.
It's weird. It didn't even
Okay.
come here.
Oh, it didn't.
so yeah. So I think it's not being called correctly then.
Oh, you're right. It's
Ju-
not because we're supposed to say start coroutine. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, where?
We gotta say start coroutine. We're not
Lol.
putting that anywhere.
So
Gosh.
all we gotta do is got him.
Start coroutine is such an annoying thing. Where
Yeah,
we
like
have door
what,
controller?
what I want is for it to like I understand, but I feel like implicitly because it knows the method's signature, if it's iEnumerator, call start coroutine for me, my guy. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I think start coroutine should fix it.
Let me. So mono behavior start coroutine, right? Okay. Let me do something. Let me do some playfulness here. Public static.
This guy
Sorry.
right here.
Start
This guy right here.
timed action. This mono behavior.
Why do you need? Can't you just do? Or yeah, go for it.
Oops. Mono behavior. Never again.
I was gonna say, is there a reason you had to do mono behavior? Is there a reason you couldn't just do start coroutine
Start
timed action?
coroutine is a function of mono behavior. It's very much reliant on mono behavior itself.
and this is a util class. It's not a mono behavior. Okay.
Yeah. So, but what I can do is I can do something like this.
Can we set mono behavior by default to equal this so that we don't ever have to pass it either?
No, but we can do something like this. Util dot
Start timed action. Right? And just send what's in there, right?
Hold on. There is no argument for mono behavior. Let me click using static util. I think then we can use this like so. Yeah. Then we could just send the same parameters over. Work? Yes? Using static util?
I don't know.
Do I have to do this? Okay.
Wait, why do you have to do that?
Because this is gonna implicitly send this as this in the method call. Sorry,
Okay.
like door controller is calling this dot. I'm assuming it's gonna send this mono behavior to start timed action, so that it can actually run that piece of code. I get it.
Oh,
I have
see.
to explicitly say this in order for it to. You know what the disk keyword does, right?
Not as a parameter, no.
As a parameter, it essentially makes they're called extension methods. They're made so that it almost seems like the actual method itself is an actual method. I said actual a lot, but is an actual method of that particular object in which you are invoking it on. Like in this case, it's a mono behavior. So like you know the toolist methods.
The what?
Toolist,
Yeah.
like all that stuff. Like if you were to do an array.toolist, by default there is no array.
Tool list.
Yeah. But if you did something like link, it comes with extension methods where you could say like array.toolist, and it's almost like it's a function of the array class itself. But it's not. It's actually an extension method that makes it seem like it is.
I see. I get you.
Yeah, it just makes it. I find it makes it much cleaner than actually calling like methods like from static classes sometimes. Because then you're
Gotcha.
basically
Okay,
saying,
cool.
yeah, like from this tool is you're actually operating on the value itself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what was I doing? Yeah, so now this should work. Finally. Yeah, see?
Yep.
And I can't move.
Nice.
I'm interacting right now. I'm actually like the interact code is still going, but I'm no longer calling overlay for this. So on this interact code, we can, do the thing, and then basically is interacting would be set to false the moment it's into the new scene. Because I have
Got
to
it.
do
Yeah, yeah,
escape
yeah.
right now to get out of it, but
Yeah, so I'm trying to think. Should we? Should we do? Should we make a like method to control is interacting as well, and then maybe I'm trying to think. Like when we do an action that doesn't have to do with the overlay, once that action is done, we should give the player control again. So like for example, like opening that door should play, and then they should get control instantly, right? Because that could be applied to other things as well, right? I'm just trying to think if that makes sense.
it does. We would need to like literally set is interacting again. It may not be the most cleanest way to do it, so that mean it may even be hacky, like not good way.
I get it. Okay, so maybe yeah.
So we have door open, right?
Mm-hmm.
We could. Do we know how long the door open animation is? Like if we get
Not exactly, but it can't be more than 1 second. Like I'm pretty sure it's probably like a second.
so we can have like another timed action to let's see.
I get you to say is interacting as false, right?
I mean, we could totally override this behavior. We don't even have to. Here we're saying on interact.raise,
Mm-hmm.
and this is a what is on interact.raise? Is it? It's public here, so we could just not use this behavior. Oops. And simply just do it ourselves, or we can call the base on interact on specific situations.
I get you.
Yeah, like for example,
I get you.
is interacting. We definitely want to call it here, right?
Yes. Yes, when on wait, why are we okay, yeah. Wait, is there a reason we don't call it just in general? Shouldn't it call the base no matter what?
Not necessarily. Like the base, what all the base is doing right now is it's calling
It's just firing the event.
right the event. So we could just make it so that it fires the event at specific times, or on interact raise, on interact change. Let me think. Well, this is only going to affect player basically. That on interact event raise
Mm-hmm.
only affects player at this point.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is
Yeah.
you want them to be like not doing anything until
Yeah, I'm saying like so for example, right? I'm just saying based on again, we can do the util.time the action in a door controller, and that's fine. So I think that might be the way to do it. I'm just saying like let's say in the future, right? Let's say I'm making it up, right? Let's say in one level we have them gain four key flames, right? And 4 doors open back to back. So like door 1 opens, door 2 opens, door 3 opens, door 4 opens. We want the player to just be like idle until the end of that, and then at the end of that, instead of having to press escape, because there's no overlay, so they won't know necessarily like, oh, I need to press escape. They should just like get their control back. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to do that, and if it's if there's a way to like no matter what action occurs, as long as it's not an overlay action, give them control once the action is done. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But again, I don't know if that's as feasible as I'm making it sound.
Is interacting. Is pressing escape. This is a challenge.
Yeah.
So basically, you wanted to. Is interacting may not be controlled by these keys. Essentially, these actions is interacting can be controlled probably like usually by this, but not always by this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just because, like, again, like what you saw there, when you opened the door, you couldn't move until you pressed escape, and I feel like it shouldn't work that way. I think it should just, like, I don't know. I'm just I don't know how to do it. I'm trying to think of a way to implement it. If there was a way to know, because again, every action we do is going to be unique. So maybe the time we open the door, maybe the next time we, again, like when they interact with a lever, maybe, right? It will, I don't know, open a different door, or maybe it'll, I don't know, it'll do tons of different things. And so that's what I'm trying to figure out, how we can have that be generic. Because what we don't want to necessarily do is everywhere that there's like a lever, a door, a pickup, or something, they always have to press, or we always have to write a util, timed action thing for each of the different actions. I'm trying to think if there's a way to get a generic, like, action is done, regardless of who calls it. So even if it's open door or open, or like move platform or blah blah blah, to get like a callback when the action is done.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like in JavaScript, and I assume you have in C#, you have like a subscribe. It's kind of like an event where, like, what you can do in a JavaScript is like make an HTTP request, right?
Mm-hmm.
And wait until the action is completely done before you run a piece of code. And then you can have that piece of code run every time for all your HTTP requests. In the same way, I'm trying to think, like, anytime a interaction that isn't with the overlay is occurring, get a callback or something when that action is done, and then give the player their control back.
Well, we could I mean we could just define it. So I have stop interaction, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And what I'm doing here is I'm basically saying the default is escape, but we can modify it so that this is not the default. Like,
Okay,
the interact can still happen, but the escape, like it could still be the escape depending on what state it's in. So, for example, is door open? So if is door open is true, which it should be.
Yeah, what we should do is set is door open to true after. Oh wait, no, yeah, it happens after the 0.25. So yeah, if is door open, then stop interaction. Yeah. Then
Hold
like
on,
let
I'm trying to figure out, because escape should be when we actually close, right?
yeah, if the overlay is open, yeah. So what happens is we close the overlay, timed action starts, right? And then in open door, what we can do is inside of after that we call stop interaction, which will check if is door open is true. It will be true, and so then we need some code to, like, let the player move again, or as you said, like, activate pressing escape or something, so that it takes effect naturally.
And you're saying after line 38, right?
After
Or
line
inside it. No, after it, yeah.
to call stop in interaction. No, I'm saying to call it inside of. This isn't great, but inside of open door. But yeah, but only because we want it to happen afterward. Because if we put it before, the coroutine starts, what'll happen is the player will gain control before the animation plays. It should
Okay.
happen after the animation plays.
What if they haven't obtained the keyframe? It's not going to matter, right?
No, because
Not even going into the code.
it won't go in that if.
Yeah. Okay.
Again, I feel like I'm missing something that's gonna break, but it feels like it should make sense. But I don't know.
Okay.
Mm. Let me get rid of this so it's more easier to think about it. Okay, so we do have like this sort of thing happening on update of Interact Controller, right? So we have stop interaction is interacting. Start interaction.
Can you show me the base implementation of stop interacting again? Oh, okay. Return is pressing escape. So that just returns a bool, right? Like if they're pressing escape or not. So in this case of the door, it'll return false, right?
Yeah, but I'm not sure about putting that logic in stop interaction because I was thinking of doing it on an override, but the way you're making it seem it may not work with that.
I get you.
Interaction. I mean, we may have to table this. Maybe we might just have to figure this out off stream because it's
I get
it's
that,
8,
yeah.
and I think I mean we did a good amount. We kind of refactored it to the point where like now we kind of got it in the direction we want to go. So by next time we should have this more fleshed out, where we're it's a proper system and we don't have to make too many changes to it after this.
Okay.
I get that. Yeah, sure. I'm fine with that.
Okay, so let me just put a little to do.
Sure,
Let's do figure out how to start and stop interaction. Not using X and escape in certain cases. I think we're on the right direction, but we just have to really
Yeah, me
like
too.
figure it out because I think maybe we just have to change this code somehow, like
Yeah, I agree.
to not use this, but instead like have like some sort of trigger going on where it calls the on interact and everything like that properly. But it's controlled by door controller, like something like maybe some sort of behavior will be defined to control it. Like interact will still keep checking, but it's really up to the door, for example.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, we can still have like a base though, like of like stop interaction means this. But we'd have to see. Because the thing is, stop interaction is doing it on every frame, right? And the issue is we want it to happen after like a specific thing. So if we do it here, we'd have to like say maybe do something where like, okay, stop interaction should stop only after this animation in a certain case. The issue is in order for us to actually even like we're too interdependent because we're overriding on interact change here. So when we click escape, it's already setting is interacting to false.
Got it. Yeah.
So that's the only way we'll actually get to this point. So by then, interact will already be false. We'd have to somehow prevent that from happening.
I get you.
Or like do specific behavior on escape, like for example here we could do on escape. Close the window, but is interacting still interacting. So we're not going to tie it to this behavior itself. But we'll have to see. This was originally here, so let me just leave that here. But we'll see next time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we can move on to the transition, and then finally level 2. I think that's
or section 2.
Section 2, yes.
To level 1, yeah.
Okay.
Cool. All right, but thanks for everyone who came to watch stream today.
Oh yeah, totally.
It was a very technical stream, but hope you followed. Hope you explained things. Hope